So this lesson is going to cover Ray Optics 3, or we're basically talking about ray diagrams for lenses. So what we're going to do today is we're going to draw and interpret the ray diagrams for both concave lenses and convex lenses. Okay, the convex lens is the more common one that we'll see. Those are converging lenses. Concave are diverging lenses. So, just to remind ourselves, okay, about the difference between converging versus diverging. Okay, converging brings the light rays to a single point, the focal point, whereas diverging ones, it actually spreads the light rays out instead. Okay, so the light rays will look like they're coming from the other side of the lens or mirror. Okay, so converging mirrors are concave, converging lenses are convex. So they're kind of a little bit of an opposite there. Same with diverging, okay? The diverging mirror is convex and the diverging lens is concave. Okay. So the lens ray diagrams are exactly the same as the mirror ray diagrams, except we need to pay attention to the fact that lenses have two focal points. For our intents and purposes, we're treating the two focal points as identical numbers. One's positive, one's on the right side, one's on the left side. But they're both going to be the same distance, okay? So what we're saying is our lenses are symmetric. Okay, so what we're going to need to do is remember that the first ray, which is parallel focal, goes through the first focal point. And the second ray, focal parallel, goes through the second focal point. And there's always that third ray to double check ourselves. Okay, first ray, okay, just like with the mirror, okay, the first ray is drawn parallel to the principal axis, then down through the focal point that corresponds to the leading edge or the first edge. Okay, so looking at the lens here, there are two curves on it. Okay, the leading edge is the left side because that's the side the object is on. Okay, so that side belongs to a circle. Okay, that's basically on the right side. Okay, so this is the circle that we're talking about here. Okay, the circle that forms that edge is this circle, making the center there and the focal point for that curve on the right side. The second curve is over here, okay? So we kind of have like a little Venn diagram thing going here, okay? And the center of that circle and the focal point of that circle is on the left side, okay? I don't really want to say left and right necessarily. That's why I use the term leading edge and trailing edge, because sometimes the object could be placed on the right side of the lens. Okay, so in this case, we're looking at two focal points, okay? But the rules are the same. First ray drawn parallel, and then down through the first focal point, okay? And then the second ray, okay? The second ray is going to go through the second focal point and then parallel, okay? So again, second focal point, and then we go parallel, okay? And where those green rays or the refracted rays intersect, remember, it's the refracted ones, not the originating ones, okay? I highly recommend keeping the two colors until you get more comfortable with your ray diagrams. And most of us won't get comfortable with our ray diagrams by the time the final exam comes around. So keep the two colors, okay? The originating rays, and then the reflected or the refracted rays in a second color. And it's where that second color or the refracted rays intersect that determines where the image is going to be. In this case, our image is on the right. It's clearly smaller. It's on the observer side of the lens, so it's real, and it's inverted. Okay. We also have that third ray, and the third ray is going to go straight through the center of the lens and continue straight. There's no refraction, basically, of this center ray because of the 0 degree aspect. Okay, so it goes straight and then just continues, pretty much intersects at the same point. Okay? We need to be careful, and the reason I specify we need to be careful because, and the reason I specify first focal point and second focal point is because our focal points for the concave lens are going to be different, okay? Because my first circle, or the leading edge, is now this one. This should correspond to the first one, okay? And this corresponds to the second one. Because the second circle is over here, making the second circle center and focal point there. Okay, but the rules are going to be the same. Parallel through the first focal point, and then through the second focal point, and where it hits the lens, it goes parallel from there. Okay, so the rules are going to be the same. The center rule still applies. Okay, so practice these ray diagrams at home, and we'll talk about these in class next time. Thank you.